Hi, I bought in my 20s. I know it's a lot harder nowadays, and please don't switch off. This video isn't about how I did it, it's about how I would do it nowadays with things that are a little bit harder. Now, basically, what I want to talk to you about is what really is important, what the issues are, and how you can fix it. So the first thing I wanted to do was basically just say, yes, I bought my first place in my 20s, just 3 months out of uni. And to be honest, it was difficult and things have changed, so it's even harder. I mean, deposits are bigger, rent is higher, criteria is tighter, and there's so much information out there, and some of it's outdated, some of it's conflicting, some of the advice is from people that haven't even done it. So at the end of the day, I understand why a lot of people are just like, what's the point? And that's what someone told me earlier this week, which made me quite sad, really, because at the end of the day, there is a point. If buying your own property is something that you strive for, there definitely is a point. So, a mortgage advisor. A mortgage advisor is usually someone that you see when you're going to apply for a mortgage, right? A mortgage coach is slightly different. So a mortgage coach, I was trying to explain to someone the other day, is a bit like the difference between a driving instructor and a driving examiner. A mortgage advisor is more like the driving examiner. They will, test you on the day. They may work with you a little bit before, but they're basically testing you on the day. Where a driving instructor is someone that you meet weekly, maybe once a week, twice a week, and they're trying to get you to that goal. That is what a mortgage coach is. And considering how difficult it is to get on the property ladder right now, why wouldn't you want a mortgage coach? Someone asked me actually in the week, what qualifies me to be a mortgage coach? And I'll be honest with you, there is no official mortgage coach qualification. But for me, it's the fact that I did buy in my 20s. I did then go on to rebuy and become a landlord when I was 27. And I was an accountant for 20 years where I learned budgeting and expenses and how all of that works. And then in 2020, I retrained and became a mortgage advisor. And I also have trained as a financial coach. So for me, that's what qualifies me. But I don't say I'm a qualified mortgage coach. I say I call myself the mortgage coach because I combine mortgage advice with financial coaching, which is what I do. So, when you're actually looking at coaching, as I've kind of mentioned already, you do look at income, you do look at spending, you do look at credit behavior because they want to know your spending habits. When I say they, I mean the lenders. So, while I'm doing the whole coaching and getting you mortgage ready, I'm constantly reverting back to what lenders actually need to know. And after just over 5 years of being a mortgage advisor and helping first time buyers, I really do know what lenders want. So, yes, within the Get Mortgage Ready Club, you will learn about deposit strategy. Let's be honest, it is the most difficult of all the milestones, or not even difficult, the longest of all the milestones to achieve. Once you know how much you can borrow, then you can re engineer back to what your deposit needs to be and then come up with that all important deposit strategy. And then when you're building your credit, with your credit, depending what the situation is, you can make a significant difference within about 6 weeks. But obviously, with a deposit, you will work, the chances are you will be working on that a lot longer, depending on what program you want to actually work on. But for me, everybody's end goal is to own their own property. Well, anyone who's watching this video that wants to own their own property, own their own place, but you all have to do it to your pace. So that's why I've got 3 different programs so you can decide which is the right one for you. So the way it works is we'd have a clarity call and I would go through with you what program works for you. So if that's something you're interested in, then by all means click the link. The other thing that you work on, so I said deposit strategy, I said credit building, and then I said understanding the process. It's the whole of the buying process. And then, as a caveat to that, you also need to understand mortgage jargon because at the end of the day, if you don't know how the process works, it makes it very difficult to navigate in the best way. So, why does this matter? It matters because by having a coach, I do actually, and I like this expression, compress time because you don't have to figure things out for yourself. You don't have to compare one person's advice with the other. If you choose to do it the Get Mortgage Ready way, then you will just follow the process and there will be a step by step guide on how to do it, which is basically what this is all about. So, if buying your first home, the biggest financial decision that most people make in their life, is what you might need help with, by all means, check out the free Get Mortgage Ready Club. It really is up to you how you want to do it. A lot of people want to do it on their own. A lot of people don't realise that there is an alternative option. So consider it, and I'll look forward to seeing you.